Okay, well, this is another awesome opportunity to talk about technology. And before we jump in, I want to set a little bit of the context for why we're having this conversation. FastEditor is a sponsor of the Automate and Elevate online event that we had. It was Branded Merch Network's first version of that event last fall. And Rick joined us not only as his company sponsorship, but also he was one of the panelists, and it's awesome to see you again, Rick. I'm glad that you're here. But we both know, right, that panels are great, but in a 15 to 20 minute section, it's really hard to kind of make your point and scratch the surface. And so this sets the stage for us to connect together one to one. And I wanted to set aside the time because this topic really deserves a deeper discussion and an honest evaluation. We're just going to have a conversation. This is not a sales pitch. This is not a product demo. But the truth is that as we talk about this problem more openly, I think there'll be a lot of businesses, Rick, that in promo or print or apparel, they're quietly dealing with this. They're kind of quietly struggling with this, and they're not sure what to do next. And so as operations get more complex, and as you know, costs are more expensive to run things, I think your perspective is really going to help this on the inside from the workflow, because this is what you do every day. And so my job is to ask a couple of questions and help surface what actually matters, so that any of our viewers and anybody that's listening can kind of say, oh, okay, I get this, and help decide for themselves what to do next. And so, Rick, thank you with that big long intro. I'm so glad to see you again, my friend.
Very good to see you as well, Jay, and thank you so much for that introduction. You already told a lot, but let me add a little bit from my side to that.
Perfect.
We were very happy and so positive about the first Automate and Elevate event. I think the Branded Merch Network is doing a great job with a lot of content creation, and this was definitely one of the highlights, I think, of last year, where it was hard to go really deep into topics, but I think we
Mhm.
did a great job altogether to make sure that from the different perspectives for all the different panelists, we were able to give a very strong overview about what automation could look in the market. And hopefully we did at the same time make it a little bit less scary than it was before for a lot of people. So it's great to do that part. It's great to be connected to your network. And I'm very looking forward to dig a little bit deeper today on the
Yes.
automation.
Yes, love that. Well, why don't you tell folks that are watching, and this will be on our website, and we'll definitely share it as a video and as a podcast. But tell us, just give us the background, give us your bio. Who are you? Who is Rick? What do you do?
Yeah, yeah. So my name is Rick Molenaar. I'm from Europe in the Netherlands. So while we're recording, it's evening here over in Europe. Lived in close to Rotterdam and have been in the print and personalization space basically since I came out of university. So for the last 13 years. First, always on the reseller side. I've been commercially responsible for HelloPrint, a European print platform that's currently also
Sure,
active in
sure.
the North American market. And 3 years ago, together with my co-founder who runs the technical and product side of the business, we founded FastEditor because we saw for a lot of European, and now we know it's a much more global issue. For a lot of European companies, we saw that margins were getting really, really tight in the orders that they were processing.
Hmm.
Basically, because there were two forces happening at the same time. The order value is going down because customers want more on demand and smaller quantities to order and more flexibility and quicker turnaround times. And salary costs and other operational costs
Right.
going up at the same time. So they're squeezing from both sides basically to have their
Yes.
effect on profit margins. At the same time, we also felt like, okay, from a customer perspective and also from an automation perspective, there is more to do. We can innovate a little bit more in the market, also in user experiences around visualization and direct print proofing and those kind of things.
Hmm.
And technology also became available in the last couple of years with artificial intelligence and other technologies to be able to automate more and have more processing power on a lot of things. So then we said, well, let's start a journey that is not easy, but maybe a little bit complicated even, but at least
Oh,
it's
you're being really coy there. You're not. It's not easy. It's yeah. Okay. Fair. Point
yeah.
taken.
But I think that was one of the reasons also for us that it was fun to start it, because when you start something that you know is not going to be easy, yeah, then maybe that gives like that extra bit of motivation and power to go through it. We were very lucky to have a few of launching partners in Europe that were so kind to give us some testing volume that really helped us to test the logo
Okay.
uploads and content uploads, and therefore we could build from there. And then we started a pretty long journey to trying to automate, and basically with the full vision in mind that the part about logo uploads, enhancements, print proof creation, approval, and production ready file generation and sharing could be all integrated in one workflow. With the addition that it also would be beneficial to have it in one workflow. Because if you already at the moment that the logo will be uploaded from the customer, you can overlay that with how it needs to be outputted for
Right.
production.
Right.
Then you have all control in like one experience towards the end user and the potential to automate. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're enjoying every
Okay.
day. Although
Okay. I love
things
that. I
getting
can
more
tell
complex every day as well.
you've got a big energy about this and a big passion. I love that. I love that you have a technology partnership background, but also a more of a human approach. Like, how does this actually work? How does this actually fit? And so I wanted to ask you about that. You described perfectly the squeeze. That's what I called it too, where it's being squeezed from both sides. Order values seem to be flat or maintaining maybe the volume, but it's
Mm.
coming in instead of 500 units, it's coming through as five 100 unit orders or less, right? And we see the power of personalization making a difference there. So if the order value isn't climbing up the way they used to, and salaries and operational costs are definitely going up, so tell me, like, in a real shop, like, where does that pressure start to show up? Like, whether they're apparel decorators, whether they're promotional products people, maybe they're in print, but where does that pressure start to show up inside from your perspective? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah, we see exactly the same things happening over all three categories, from apparel to more like hard goods and promo, and also so printed products like paper. Um, we tend to see it a little bit more into apparel and also promo categories than print, because there it's already a little bit more automated with PDF uploads that then have some automated workflows after it.
Okay.
Promo and apparel, yeah, we see in many cases still the more traditional workflows where an end user uploads, someone is making a print proof, the print proof is being shared with the end customer, they maybe have some feedback, rework is being done, final print proof is shared, that's approved, production ready artwork is generated, that's shared to the production partner, the production partner has some feedback, and the whole process starts again in a certain way. That's of course the
That's
opposite
a
a little
lot.
bit
That's a
flow,
lot.
but this happens every single day for still a lot
Oh
of
yeah. Oh
resellers
yeah.
and distributors in their exact processes.
That workflow. When you say traditional, I am definitely going to date myself, but that hasn't changed in a lot of years. I'll just say that. I'm saying that when you say traditional, the traditional workflow and what you
Mm.
describe, that back and forth, the artwork, the proofing, the production workflow, getting all the way to the point where you finally have something that's ready to go into production. And then the production workflows are sometimes still in a traditional set. I mean, that's a lot, Rick. You guys must be facing like a lot of pressure, but what I'm curious about here is this kind of the reality check of why does it start? Why is it still such a problem? Like, maybe there's no answer for that. I'm probably just making it too simple. But why does this still such a problem today? What do you think?
Yeah, I think partly because there was a long period of time that this process worked. So with a lower salary cost on average and in the last couple of
Okay.
years in comparison with higher order values, the models works. So if your order value is $1,500, and then there's room in the order to have manual contacts, create the print proofs, have a little bit back and forth, and basically guide and manually support that order to be fulfilled. When the salary costs go up, you need to do the same number of manual tasks for that same order. But at the same time, the order value goes down. Yeah, then it starts breaking at a certain moment. Maybe it's still good
Okay.
at 1,300 bucks, maybe still okay, but getting tighter at 11. But then when it drops to 800 or 700, and you still need to do the same tasks that are also getting more expensive, yeah, then it
Yeah.
starts breaking at that moment. And in Europe, I think we are at that breaking point. What I hear from a lot of North American partners is that it's a little bit better because still the volumes are higher because the markets are a little bit bigger and less scattered than in Europe itself.
Okay.
But also that's yeah, you can if you draw the trend lines a little bit further from how they're going right now in the next couple of years, then yeah, it's very clear, I think, that the expectation should be that the same thing will be happening in North America as well.
Yeah, here in North America for the last maybe, I want to say 10 years. I'm being generous, but we call it, in part, we call it the Amazon effect because here I know you have Amazon there, but here in Amazon, starting here, people want what they want. They want to be able to order it now and they want to be able to get it tomorrow. Now,
Yeah,
with some products, that's the reality. In fact, the reality here, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. The reality is that you can get a lot of volume products today. Today, I can order it today online, shows up at my doorstep today. And whether we like it or not, the consumer is in part driving this behavior. Would you agree that their expectation is, I want to order personalized headwear, I want to get a hat, I want to get my logo on it, and I want to get it tomorrow,
yeah.
right? They don't know that that's unrealistic.
Yeah, well, it becomes very unrealistic when you have 4 or 5 days about the print proof. Then next day delivery will be very hard when you lose 5 days on that part. But even with just production and shipping, it's hard because it is not an off-the-shelf product and it needs to be personalized and
Correct.
created.
We know that's not realistic in our decorated worlds of print promo and apparel, but you could create stores that could deliver that with some structure. But I think it's going to be, like you said, the trend lines maybe down the road. That I know it's available. I know it's possible today on a limited basis, but I don't know that that's the problem we're trying to solve, especially because it seems like there's more. The business owner is not as aggressively trying to solve that problem as they are trying to maintain their profit and then shrink some of that time. Right? Is that would you say those are the two struggles? Is the from the business owner's perspective, maintaining profit and then shrinking that time through some form of automation or some form of services and tools like what FastEditor provides.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the solution to those two issues at hand, they are more or less the same. Because if they want to shrink the time from like order to delivery, I don't believe the optimization is either in the shipping or in the production part. That part already goes pretty efficient, pretty smoothly. Of course, there's some hours probably to optimize, but that's probably it. The big part to optimize in the order preparation before it actually goes to the printing or decoration machine. And then afterwards, it go pretty smooth. And that's also the part where automation can happen on the part of print proofing and artwork corrections and those kind of things. And the technology is now there in the last couple of years. Factorization models and quality upscaling models and like automated cleanups, they all became available in different models. Then
Mm-hmm.
still, we learned it's much more to build the workflows around it that activate the right model at the same time than just having the model available is still a different game. But the technology is there right now and just needs to be connected and combined basically together.